Welcome to Railworld Wildlife Haven.
Railworld started off really 35 years ago when Reverend Richard Payton, who'd bought the locomotives that started the Nene Valley, he wanted to do more. The Nene Valley was established and he got the opportunity to purchase this old power station coal yard here in Peterborough, and he wanted to do something else. Richard and I always thought this was a fabulous location. You've got railways crossing, you've got the main East Coast main line, and also the cross-country route going through to Cambridge and Ely. Obviously the railway that ran between Northampton and Peterborough was one of the first railways to arrive at Peterborough, and it followed the route of the River Nene, or the Nene, whichever you want to call it. I remember when I said to Richard that I'd like to build a wildlife haven, he said, well, have you got any money? I said, well, no. He said, have you got anybody to help you? I said, well, no. He said, well, how are you going to do it? I said, I'm going to find people to do it. I'd worked at Perkins all my life, Perkins Engines in Peterborough, and they was always really into the environment, you know, looking after the environment, making cleaner engines all the time. And first of all, I started writing to companies, you know, especially, you've got a Perkins power digger. Could you come and help us at the weekend? Yeah. So I'd write a little bit in the Perkins magazine. The Perkins Echo, they gave me a page, and I used to write each month about what was happening here. We had a phone call from British Rail to say they had some Victorian aqueducts. Did we want them? And I said to Richard, yeah, we'll have them, and we could build them into the wildlife haven. So I wrote to Caterpillar and I said to them, could we borrow your demonstration team to dig out the ponds and the waterfalls? We're creating a wildlife haven. We finished up getting the Caterpillar demonstration team for 5 weeks. And it's incredible what's been achieved. Each of the aqueducts, we raised funds to build the supports. Stuart Smith came in with his 300-ton crane and lifted them in position for nothing. You know, if we hadn't done this, these aqueducts, historic artifacts would have been cut up forever. It is absolutely incredible what people will do to help you. And if I couldn't get anything, I used to pull back and think, I've done it wrong. I will get it. I haven't took the right route to get what I need, so I'll go another way. And we always got it. You know, there's no limit to what can be achieved if we all work together. Such a roller coaster ride, really. I mean, we've got no core funding, we have to raise our own funds and everything. But it's so exciting to see people work together, you know, companies to work together, groups to work together, and all volunteers to work together. It just shows you what you can achieve if you do work together. And the reality is, we all want a better world, and if we all did a little bit in our locality, you know, things would be so much better for so many millions of people.
I used to work with Brian. And originally, when I retired, I was bored out of my head, and I thought, I've got to do something. And originally I went to a wildlife reserve and did a bit of voluntary work, and Brian happened to be around, and he said, I've got a better job for you. If you want to do some work, come and look at Railworld. So I came down here, been down here for 8.5 years now.
I'm doing this voluntary work as I wanted to do once I retired, so that I can give something back to the community. And I do like being over here because you're under no pressure, and you just give me a project and I'll just get on with it. When I was an apprentice, we worked all as a team because they employed their own painters and decorators, plumbers, the carpenters, joiners and everything. We all worked together as one team, and that's what I've always done, and that's what I like about it here. I mean, a good bunch of lads here, and we do have a bit of banter and stuff like that, and we all just get on with what we've got to do and enjoy it.
We miss the work colleagues, and we miss the banter that we used to always have when we was at work, and we can get it back here. And we're left alone to do the projects that we want to do, and we've got a great sense of achievement for what we do.
When you come in, you'll see the hover train RTV 31, Research Test Vehicle 31, which has also got a local story because it was designed and worked on at Cambridge, at Erith in Cambridgeshire. That place was picked because of the brains of Cambridge. So we're looking for heritage funding to house that, to save that and look after it. And then you see the Garden Railway, you know, made from old paving slabs, bedsteads and old pallets. You walk up the ramp. That used to be a railway bridge over the East Coast main line in Fletton, Peterborough. The bridge over the river used to be an old railway bridge that went over the railway in Darlington. There was 2 trees when we started. We won 250 trees in clear up a grot spot, and all these trees were just a foot tall. We've watched them trees grow. And this is the way that society has got to look at things. We can't keep scrapping things off all the time. Then we go into the Globe Hall. The world is turned round by an old barrier gate drive. It used to lift and up and down to let the cars in the car park. We laid it on its side at 27 degrees. Instead of going up and down, it goes round and round, fed by solar panels on top of the roof. Because we're electrical engineers, we sussed it out.
I've been coming to Railworld for about 6 or 7 years. Just had major heart surgery, and I was walking down a riverbank with my wife and bumped into Brian, who has been a friend for, well, since 1965. He invited us in to have a look round, and I started coming then a couple of days a week. I was part of the team that installed the watermill round the other side. I do help with other things as well, mostly mechanical and electrical maintenance and plumbing and that sort of thing. Before I came here, I used to do a lot of wildlife photography and things like that, and so really it was the wildlife side of it. I mean, I'm just about coming up to my 70th birthday in a few months. I like trains as well. I mean, I was around when there was steam trains. It is really something nice to do, instead of sitting at home on my own.
What we want is we want the families to walk around here with their children, the grandmas, the granddads, the mums and dads to walk around with their children and tell them things. The little lad the other week, he didn't realise that apples grew on trees. I picked up some sheets one day and there was 11 grass snakes. 11 all curled up, there was the eggs there and everything. It was absolutely amazing. A little lad the other week, I showed him a newt. He'd never seen one before, he thought it was a crocodile. I said, it's a newt. No, it walks like a crocodile. It's lovely, absolutely lovely. And that's why we're looking to raise £4 million to build an Earth Centre to highlight all these things that are happening in the world, from population growth to CO2 emissions, to climate change, to all these different things. And also, most importantly, pollution of the oceans.
I was made redundant, which led then to retirement, and I want to do something, sort of thing, because I wouldn't go sit in a chair and just stagnate all the while, sort of thing. So I looked for something I like doing, and railways and wildlife was my thing. And you've still got a lot of years to go, so why not enjoy it? If you don't, you're giving your life up. This used to be car park at one point, and the main area was just a picture I had in my mind, which was a rough drawing, and then it sort of developed from that. It had to be levelled off first, and then the various main structure went in, like the building of the paths, the slabs round about, sort of thing, for the track on, were all from Cathedral Square, which the council gave to us, and they've been put to good use, rather than just wasted. I come probably 3 days a week. It's something you can just do. I've got keys, so I can get into the place when I want to do work. Just pass my time away. If it's what you enjoy, come and do it, sort of thing. It keeps you on the go. It's not necessarily just railways. There's all sorts of jobs people can do around this place, sort of thing, and the more that come, the better.
First thing I ever say to a volunteer, what do you like doing? You know, and everything else no one likes doing, I do.